What's up, Bulldogs? All right, this is a long one, but there might be some advice in it for you. This is a story of one-nightus. All right. So this story comes from Seth, and he says here, "Hello, John. I'm Seth. I've been subscribed to your channel. I've been watching your videos about dating advice and being more masculine for about 3 years now. There is this trouble that I've been having lately. So I'm 22, and I've never had a girlfriend before. I graduated high school back in 2020 during the pandemic. After high school, I started taking some classes in 2021, but I dropped them around mid 2022. I wasn't really into college and it wasn't really my thing. Since then, I've been working at Safeway since July of 2021, so I've been working there for a little over 2 years now. I just work full time there right now, and I bag, push carts, and I stock stuff. So first of all, the first thing I'm going to tell you here, okay, Seth, is that, look, man, I know you just graduated high school. I know there was a pandemic and all that stuff, but you're at Safeway for 2 years. What are you doing, man? Like, where are you going with your life? Like, working at Safeway is not a plan. You need to be doing something. You need to be a lot more ambitious than that right now. Again, I'm telling you this because I love you, right? I'm not trying to come down on you. I'm not trying to belittle you, but yeah, if you have to work at Safeway for a little bit of time, to make it, that's fine. I get that, but you need a plan. You should be doing something. You need a career or build a business, right? Ideally, I would say to build a business, but you've got to have some bigger ambitions than that. In fact, you're going to tell me about some girl, and my answer is going to be, you don't need to be focusing on girls right now. You're 22 and you work at Safeway. You need to be focusing on other parts of your life. All right, let's continue on. He says here, so basically I used to really shy back in high school. I was scared of talking to other guys who seemed cool, and I was really scared of talking to pretty girls. Okay, now that's pretty standard, right, for most people. I consider myself to be a pretty good-looking guy. My problem back in high school was just shyness. It's amazing how many guys consider themselves to be a pretty good-looking guy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, let's forget about that. So sometimes I think, and the reason why I say this is because sometimes I think that a lot of guys get in their head, they're like, oh, well, I'm a pretty good looking guy, and so I shouldn't have much of a problem. It's like, and then they hide behind that. They use that as an excuse. If you weren't a good looking guy, then maybe you'd have to do a lot of work and you'd have to really take to heart what I'm saying. And so I think a lot of guys hide behind that. Whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. It's like, that should not matter. That should not be a factor in your considerations. All right, so let's continue on. He says here, but I feel like since I've started working at Safeway, it's forced me to come out of my shell, and I'm a lot more confident talking to people, and I feel like I don't really have trouble talking to girls anymore. So that's good. I mean, that is good. Again, that's good that you were able to do that at a job at Safeway, but still, you need to get out of Safeway. This is not a career for a young man. You're 22 years old. This is something that if you failed in life and you're 50 or 60, that you work at Safeway, right? It's not for you at 22 years old. There's too much stuff that you could be doing, right? I'm not going to say go to college, but hey, if nothing else, go to college or join the military. Do not work at Safeway. This is just ridiculous. Like, you're wasting your life. You're wasting your time. You need to have a plan. Now, if you're building some kind of business or doing something and you're working at Safeway in the meantime, sure, that's fine. But you'd be much better off living in your parents' basement and working on a business than working at Safeway. But I'll stop. All right. So he says, so there's this girl named Deanna who, I guess I probably shouldn't have said all the names here, but I mean, I don't think Deanna's going to watch this. If she does, it's fine. Yeah. How you doing? All right. So, who started working at the Starbucks just recently. She started working there around July of this year. She's really pretty, and I started talking to her within like the first 2 weeks she started working there. I basically just like asked, are you new here and stuff, and introduced myself to her and asked her what high school she went to. She's almost 19 and she just graduated this year. After that, I started talking to her a lot, and I'd get water, sometimes buy a drink from her, and try to have small talk with her, and I would leave her tips sometimes. Okay, just lost my... Okay. She did, however, get a little irritated at me one time because I tried talking to her while she was working by herself, and it started getting busy, and I was just asking her questions, and she just started giving me one-word responses, and I could tell she was getting irritated. So after she gave me my drink, I just said thank you and left. I would sometimes look at her schedule in the break room so I know when she's working and when I could try to talk to her. Okay, so a couple things here, right? So first of all, already you're obsessing too much about this one girl. And second of all, if you notice that she's being irritated by your presence, you're asking a bunch of questions, that's a problem, guys. Listen, when you have to really read the signals, all right? You can't come across as this guy that's just peppering a girl with questions and just hanging around just to be around her, right? You need to get to the point. If you're going to go and you see a pretty girl and you're going to go and talk to the girl, yeah, maybe, she works at Starbucks, that's fine. So in that case, you say hi, you maybe exchange a few words. You're busy. You got to move on. You're working, right? So go and do some work. Go do what you're supposed to be doing. All right. Maybe you establish that. Okay. So maybe you interact with her a couple of times. You just say hi. You mention a couple of things, but then after you've kind of established that, then you immediately ask her out, right? You immediately do something. You can't just be trying to build this kind of friendship and then hopefully it's going to turn into a romantic relationship. It doesn't work out like that, guys. You have to understand that from the beginning, when you interact with a woman, you need to make sure that the energy that you're putting out is a masculine energy, a man to woman type of energy. What I mean by that is that she has to know clearly by the way that you're acting towards her that you are interested in her in a sexual way. So many guys are scared of their own sexuality and they try to hide it. They try to mask it. And then what ends up happening is that, oh, surprise, right? Oh, I didn't know you thought of me like that. A girl should never say to you, I didn't know you thought of me like that, right? She should know it. Now, you might be afraid, well, if I do that, maybe I'll make her uncomfortable or she'll reject me. Good. You want to find out quickly if a girl is interested or not. Now, again, it doesn't mean that you walk up to a girl and just immediately, especially if you're working in the same place, immediately start asking her out. Yeah, you can, establish a little bit of a connection, see her a couple of times, but at the point where you're going to have a serious conversation with her, it needs to be to ask her out. And then don't have more of a conversation. Really, I mean, a little bit of a conversation, but don't keep on seeing her until you see her out. You have to establish that. You need to be flirting with the girl. If you want to go and talk to a girl that's at your work or whatever, flirt with her. Don't just talk to her. You have to flirt with her, and you have to learn how to flirt. And if you don't know how to flirt, the best thing I can tell you, honestly, is join the Bulldog Mindset membership. I've got a link down below where I teach these kind of things to you. All right. And I'll do a video on this. If you want a video on how to flirt, I'll put out a video on the channel here as well. But you need to learn this important skill. All right. Let's move on here. Okay. So he says here, I still engage in small talk with Deanna after that, just when I wasn't busy. I feel like she's friendly to me sometimes, but I feel like she didn't really show a whole lot of interest in me. Okay, you already have your answer, you see. But here's the thing about it. Again, like I said, the reason why you're now in a predicament is because you didn't make it clear. You didn't make your intent clear. So now you're like, I don't know, maybe she could still be interested in me. If you were flirting with her, you would have gotten a rejection if you were going to get a rejection. You would have known. You would have known if she was interested in you, right? And sometimes I think what a lot of guys do is that they hope that if they hold out long enough that this girl will be interested in them, or they don't want to know the truth, right? They don't want to know the actual truth of the situation, right? If I'm going up to a girl, I want to know immediately, is she interested in me or not? If she's not interested, I'm moving on. I'm looking for someone else. I don't want to waste my time, right? You have to value and respect your time as a man. So if a girl doesn't show the interest in you, do not continue to pursue. All right. Now, he says here, I would also sometimes walk past her in the store and try to talk to her, and she would be friendly, but sometimes I would just kind of not say anything to her and see if she'd talk to me first, but she wouldn't say anything. Okay, this is a very bad sign. Look, if a girl was interested in you and you already have established some kind of a conversation relationship with her, when she sees you and she walks by, she's going to say hi. If she doesn't even say hi, then not only is it that she's not interested in you in a sexual manner, but now you can be pretty sure that she's avoiding you because you have creeped her out. You've given her the ick, as they say. Okay, so this is a very clear indicator, right? What if she just even saw you as a friend, as just a friendly person, she would just say hi. But she's intimidated by you because she knows what you want. She knows that you're a creepy guy. Why are you a creepy guy? What makes a guy creepy? What makes a guy creepy is when he hides his motive. Okay, let me repeat that. What makes a guy creepy is when he hides his motive, when he tries to buffer himself from rejection. What makes a guy not creepy is when he's bold. So because you have hidden your motive, right? Your motive is that she's attractive. You'd like to go out with her. You'd like to make her your girlfriend. You'd like to make out with her and watch Netflix, whatever it is. She knows that now. Okay, but you're not coming across that way. You're just coming across as a super friendly guy, right? Which is weird, which is creepy because she knows what you're really trying to do. So you got to make what you're really trying to do a game. That's what flirting is. It's where you are being pretty clear about what you want, what your intent is, but you're not saying it specifically, but you're not hiding from it either. You're making it a game. All right. Next thing he says here. Okay. I asked her if she would want to follow me on Instagram one time while she was working, and I showed her my username, and she told me she'll remember it and she'll follow me, but I never got a follow request from her. Again, I don't. I'll break apart this. Okay, it's for your own good. I know you're young, so you're gonna have to learn these things. But what better time to learn them than right now? You asked the girl if she'd like to follow you on Instagram. All right, that's not coming across as confident. That's not coming across as bold. If you wanted her to follow you on Instagram, you should say, hey, you should follow me on Instagram. That's it. Not, would you like to follow me on Instagram? You should say, hey, you should follow. Let's exchange Instagrams. Like I want to see. Yeah, give me your phone here. I'll follow you. You can follow me on Instagram, right? Again, that might come across wrong. She might not like it, but you're going to find out real quickly, okay, by her reaction. When you ask her if she'd like to, how is she supposed to respond to that? No, I wouldn't like to follow you on Instagram. Get away from me. No, she's going to be friendly. She's going to say that she's going to do it. But then you see that she doesn't do it. She doesn't have an interest. If she was interested in you, if she's like, oh, there's this cute guy that works at Safeway, do you think that she would follow you on Instagram? Do you think that she would forget to follow you on Instagram? I don't think so. Okay. She said, okay, he says here, never got a follow request. I kind of started not talking to her as much after that, but just recently, however, I found out that one of my coworkers who's like in high school was just being friendly with Deanna, and she gave him her Instagram and she followed him. Okay, so she likes that guy. All right, this is a clear indication. Like, your message should be received at this point. So after that, I decided to ask her for her Instagram again when she was working and wasn't busy at all. So she gave it to me, but she didn't follow me back on Instagram. Man, this is where you need to just drop the thing, right? Now you're asking her for her Instagram. The ship has sailed. You're trying to unreject yourself. You're trying to move yourself outside of the friend zone, and it's never going to happen. Once you're in that zone, you're not even the friend zone. You're in the creep zone, honestly. The creep zone is a place where you don't want to go, and once you're there, you're done. That it is over, all right? I'm still trying to talk to her, but I feel like she isn't really showing much interest in me. I feel like she'll kind of just give a one-word response sometimes when I ask her something, and she'll just kind of blow me off. Your perceptions are astute. This is annoying. This is annoying. It's annoying behavior. You have to stop doing this, not just to girls, but to anyone. You already know what she's doing. Like, you're cognizant of this, okay? You're aware of what's going on, yet you're ignoring the signals, right? You're becoming one of those annoying people who, when the signal is given to you, you don't respond to that. You're trying to force your way, right? That is not attractive. It comes across as desperate and needy, and it has creep vibes. Because look, think about it this way from a girl's perspective. What is a guy that can't handle rejection likely to do? A lot of things. He's likely to go crazy, get desperate, whatever, force himself on a girl. Again, I'm not saying that you're going to do these things, but I'm saying that's the vibe that you're giving off, right? She's clearly made it clear to you. And again, women are not going to outright tell you that they don't like you for a couple of reasons. One, they're kind. All right. I know, oh no, women aren't kind. No, they generally are. Okay. You might have had some bad experiences with women, but let's be real here. All right. Women are a lot more kind in general than men are. All right. So they're trying to be kind, at least. And second of all, a woman is going to be afraid to outright reject you, especially you've already shown yourself to be creepy, because guys don't really, especially creepy guys, don't handle rejection very well. They tend to get angry. They tend to now start to make it a thing and then turn on them. So they don't want to experience that. Women have experienced that in the past. A lot of guys do a lot of stuff. Again, I'm not saying that you're that guy, but I'm saying you're coming across, you're giving those vibes, and you have to be aware of this. And yeah, I'm going to give you the harsh truth here, because if you don't realize this, you're going to keep on doing this. So yeah, if a girl's blowing you off, stop. Right? Again, at this point now, you're kind of harassing her at the job. She can't even go anywhere, right? That's the other thing you have to be cognizant of, guys, okay? Whenever you're talking to a woman, right, you need to make sure you don't make her feel cornered, all right? If she's working at a job, she's working at Starbucks, and you just keep on coming up, she's got to work there. She can't leave. She's got to listen to you, and that's why she's giving you one-word answers. She's feeling trapped, and she's feeling the pressure, and she even knows that you know this, yet you're still persisting. How does that make you seem to her? It doesn't even make you seem like a nice guy. It makes you seem like a pushy creep. That's what it makes you seem like. So don't do that. All right. Then he says here, it's really hard for me to stop thinking about her because I'm really attracted to Deanna and I really want to have a chance with her, but I feel like she hasn't really shown much interest in me. Okay, so a couple of things. Yes, she hasn't shown much interest in you. Guys, you need to have standards. You need to have one of your standards. Like, you can never be rejected if your standard is that you're only looking for girls, you're only interested in girls who are interested in you. If she doesn't show interest in you, she's not qualified to be with you. You're rejecting her in a sense, all right? So, and the other thing about this is you don't even really know this girl. Right? You're obsessing about her. And this is what happens with one-itis. So many guys obsess about a girl that they don't even really know. Right? And a woman knows that. She knows you don't really know her. She knows that you cannot possibly like her as a person, that you're just attracted to her physical beauty. And so she knows that that's what you're trying to get. Right? So why would you be so devoted? Why would you be so obsessed about this girl if she's shown you no kindness? She hasn't done anything for you. She hasn't earned you in any way. She hasn't, you've just positioned yourself as the easiest to get guy in the world who would just throw himself at her just because she's pretty. That's it, right? How pathetic does that make you seem to her? You have to understand how you're coming across. I know I should try meeting other girls, and that it's not good to be obsessed over one girl. Good. Okay. My problem is I'm just working full time at Safeway right now, and she's the only pretty girl that I really see working there. Again, this is your problem. That's not her problem, right? You're kind of making it her problem. And again, I told you, stop working at Safeway. Go get a real job. Go get a real career. I know you're only 22, but seriously, go and figure something out. Like, I don't hear you talking about a plan. I don't hear you talking about starting a business, going to college, whatever it is, starting a career, figuring something out, gaining some kind of investment in your own education. Do that kind of thing. Forget about women right now. I feel like there's a lot of places for me to try meeting girls outside of work. I feel like there's not a lot. I do go to the gym sometimes and work out, but I feel like it's not a good idea to try picking up girls at the gym. Man, let me tell you something. All right. Oh, shoot. My video froze up here. I'm going to have to... Man, let me tell you something, all right? It's a lot better of an idea to pick up girls at the gym than it is to pick up girls at your work. That's a much worse idea. I mean, you're probably going to lose the Safeway job, which probably is a good thing because she's most likely going to report you for harassing her, okay? Because you've got her trapped in that. At least at the gym, the girl can leave, right? You know, it's like, yeah, at a job, you're just there, it's fine. So yeah, pick up a girl at the gym, please do that. Like, do it in the smart way, like I just said, but it's not as big of a deal as what you're doing. So, I feel like most girls at the gym either have their AirPods in or working out and with their friends, working out, and I don't want to look like a creep going up to them. Dude, you're already coming off as a creep. You can go up to a girl and not come across as a creep. Again, remember what I said is the difference between being a creep and not. It's the boldness, right? If you go up to a girl, she's got her AirPods in, and you're like, oh, hey, I just wanted to say hi, what's up, and then you're like, what body parts are you working today? Oh, cool, whatever, right? And then you see her again later at the gym, the next day or the next week or whatever, and then you say hi, and she says hi back, or maybe she stops you and says hi, and now you've got a signal that she's interested in you, and then you can pursue it further, right? But again, you just do it like it's no big deal. Like, you just say something for a second, and then you go and you do your workout. You don't spend a whole bunch of time talking to her and then ending up like a creep. All right. I tried to go out to bars, but most of the bars I go to around where I live, it's mostly older people that hang out at those bars. There's not a lot of young people. I live in the Bay Area, and I live in Brentwood, which is kind of a small country town, which is about an hour away from SF. I just feel like there's not a lot of places to meet women where I live, and that's my problem. I still live with my parents, and I've talked to them about this, but the only advice they give me is really to try online. I'm not really into online dating, and I've tried it, but it doesn't really work for me. I think I would rather go out and meet women in the real world. I know I should be focused more on myself and my goals in life, correct? And that's what my parents tell me. I really don't want to work at Safeway much longer. Good, okay. And I'm thinking about either joining the Navy, okay, or getting a job at either UPS or Amazon or something. I don't know about UPS or Amazon. Like, where is that going to go? That's just a job, man. You need to either join the military, get a career, right? Something that you're going to build up. That's not UPS or Amazon, or build a business, right? Preferably do something and build a business. I would love to hear your response for this and what advice you might have on the situation. Thanks, John. So again, your parents are right on this, right? Stop focusing on women. All right. And start focusing on the more important things that you need to in life at this point, right? I gave you some advice in regards to women, but don't worry about that right now. I think it's good that you're not wanting to do the online dating, because you should be meeting women in person and going up and talking to them. But you can do that anywhere. Like, just make that a habit in your life. If you see a cute girl while you're walking down the street, you're in a store, whatever it is, go and talk to her. That's it. Eventually, some things will happen, right? Eventually, you'll get good at that. Eventually, but be bold about it. Don't be creepy. Learn how to flirt, right? But again, like I said, don't even focus on this stuff right now. And I know that some of the stuff I said in this video is kind of harsh, but I'm doing it because I want to give you the advice that someone else isn't going to give you, right? Because I'm going to tell you exactly how it is, all right? So follow what I'm saying. And guys, if you're listening to this, pay attention, right? Pay attention to how you're coming across. Stop trying to, slip in there with the girl. Just be bold. Just be clear. Be direct. Okay. You don't have to be just immediately asking a girl out as soon as you see her, but you need to make it clear when you're, the biggest problem I see with so many guys is that they ask me advice because they don't know where they stand with a woman. And the reason why they don't know where they stand with a woman is because they have not actually made it clear what their kind of interest is, because they're afraid of being rejected. Well, it's silly because you spend weeks and months obsessing about a girl who doesn't like you and isn't showing interest in you, instead of just finding out right away. It's better to find out right away. All right, I will see you tomorrow.